We back on this other software. This is gonna be fun for week 3.
Man.
Oh yeah, man, we back. Hold on, turn this down. Turn that down. Turn that down. I want to be too loud in y'all ear. We back for week 3 for Bears Weekly with Jay and David. I was hoping we was gonna get us a victory Monday, but we didn't. But I came away with I watched the game again. I got some different thoughts. I'm still fuming about some things. I'm pretty sure you are. But before we get into all that, man, how was your weekend? How was your Monday?
The weekend was great. Sunday, I was in such a bad mood after that Bears loss that, Melissa was over here. Is there anything I can do to cheer you up? Can we hang out? And I'm just like, just let me watch the 3:00 games. Let me just let me figure it out and process it. Right, I'm gonna process it. I felt a lot more optimistic this morning when I woke up. Kind of slept on everything.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Now I know how DJ Moore felt last week, and he was pissed as hell on the sidelines.
He was.
And, kind of got to be a little more level-headed a day or two later.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like that right now. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I had a good weekend, man. I'm glad. I was actually supposed to work Premier League Fest yesterday, but that rain, I'm not doing that. So that was a perfect day for me to sit back and watch football, with no problem. It was raining outside. I got to watch football, so that was fun. So it was a good weekend, though, man. It was nothing. I did do some work, but I was chilling.
Nice.
It was a good sports weekend, college football, some news. Before we get started, a lot of y'all don't know. For those who don't know, me and David are baseball fans, and we are Cub fans. And there was some news. There was some news this weekend. It didn't really involve the Cubs, but it was a player on the other team. CJ Abrams got caught gambling at the new casino in the Loop here to 8 in the fucking morning.
I did not know the full magnitude of that story. I knew he was at a casino until 8 a.m. I'll be honest, I've been checked out of the Cubs since the football season has started. I'm like, they're a lost cause right now.
Yeah,
but I knew he was at a casino until 8 a.m. He was in Chicago? I did not realize that.
Yeah, so Thursday when he came into town, so I guess Thursday night he went down to the casino, and apparently he was seen leaving at 8 in the morning. On Fridays, what we do on Fridays, 1:20.
Yeah.
So he got demoted, and a lot of people are like, man, for gambling. But I'm like, I don't agree with the demoting route. I'm not going to say this too long, but I just want to know your thoughts. I don't agree with the demoting part, but you got to just set some type of tone where if you want to stay up all night, you can't do that if we have a 1 o'clock game. You have 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? 8 in the morning is insane. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really care about you need a punishment, but the demoting part is insane. So who knows? It could have been probably worse than we know what's going on in our organization. But just real quick, how do you feel about that? And I don't care about the gambling.
Yeah, it's really just, I don't even know that they care about it all that much either.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's looked frowned upon to just gamble in general when you're in a professional athlete. However, I will say, we've all done it. I don't know that I've spent 8 hours in a casino.
Yeah.
My boy in Discord was like, man, if he spent 8 hours in a casino, he must be losing a lot of money at that.
Yo, right. He must have been on a heater, or he was really trying to get some money back. You know what I'm saying?
I saw one picture of him and it looked like he had lost. So I don't know. That's what I'm going to go off of. But I mean, yeah, when you're out until 8 a.m. On a night before a game, especially a game that starts 6 hours later,
and then you gotta get to the stadium before 1:20.
Yeah, exactly. You got to warm up. It makes you really a poor teammate. I don't know what it is that drew him to make that decision.
Right. That's what.
Just maybe young and dumb. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to.
No, seriously. No, that is. That's why I just wanted to know your input on it. I thought that shit was hilarious when I saw it.
Yeah, that is goofy.
What the fuck? Now, On to our Bears, man. Our beloved damn Bears. It was so much that happened, man. Which just, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna let you get your thoughts out. I'm gonna see how you feeling. And I purposely have not really said too much to you just so I can get your raw emotion. And mine is and mine as well.
Yeah. What I will say about the Bears is that there's been so much slander against the Bears, but more so Caleb Williams. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: I Matt Eberflus, he is such a mixed bag for me. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people are either kind of really hating on him, or it's
Mhm.
also you're just somewhere in between. And I think I fit in that somewhere in between. I know you mentioned that it's probably time for some change. I saw on social media earlier, and
Mhm.
you know, it's weird, right? Because I don't think he's done a horrible job, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I feel like he is never going to be a coach that I see in a Super Bowl unless he is a coordinator under, you know, a coaching genius like the
Mhm.
Andy Reids, the McVays, the Matt LaFleur's, just the Mike Tomlins. I mean, I don't know. I don't see him really being that guy that takes us to that next level. We mentioned, last week, seeing him on Hard Knocks, I was just like, man, I've seen Dan Campbell fire these guys up, Robert Saleh fire these guys up. Matt Eberflus is just so vanilla. He's so
Vanilla.
just no
So
character
vanilla.
whatsoever.
Very.
And I look at Caleb, a lot of people had an issue with him throwing 52 times. I'd
What do you
like
want
to
him to do?
say, what are you going to do? Exactly. It's like when you look at him talking about, oh, he threw 52 times. Joe Burrow threw 61 times in his rookie season against the Cleveland Browns because their O-line was shit. Joe Mixon couldn't run.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't able to get anything going. And when that's the case, you got to try to make something happen. That's how I view this last week, is Caleb trying to make something happen.
He has
Well,
to.
when you're running back, and everyone's like, oh, well, you can't have him pass that much. The running back, DeAndre Swift, who we
I'm so
paid,
glad you
what,
brought him up.
$24 million?
I'm glad you brought him up.
He, 37 carries for, what was it, 68 yards?
Yeah.
That is atrocious. You might not even be running back 2 coming into this week, in my book. I was already calling for him to kind of,
You were.
a little bit less of him. I
were.
think we will see maybe not significantly less, but it is definitely a timeshare with him. And I'd love to see Roshan. He looked a lot better than what Khalil Herbert was even offering us. And it's so weird. I don't know how this offensive line feels like it's regressed from last year. Like, we were bad last year. A lot of people were calling for them. It feels like it's gotten worse. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know how.
I definitely do think. I think we got better. I think we got better weapons, and we got worse on the O line. And DeAndre Swift. So when I went back, this is one thing I noticed, and I really wanted to pay attention to his carries and how they used them. Dog, he had 13 rushes, and 9 of them was up the middle. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You cannot run. You cannot run DeAndre Swift under a fucking in between tackles like he's goddamn it. DeAndre Swift. What I was saying, they can't run him up the middle like fucking Derrick Henry and all those guys like that. So it's like you're using them wrong there. And then I go to polls and Eberflus and even Shane Waldron to the point where when you guys go do your free agency, especially polls, and you're looking at how the Eagles use Swift, they was using him in the passing game. And I will say, when they use Swift in the passing game, it looks good. Whether he catch the ball or not, he looks good. But you're not using it right there as well. And I do feel you on Swift. Like certain times when he does have the ball, I feel like he can still do more with the ball. So I do feel you. So, but I think it's like twofold. Like they're not using them right, and they're not, and he's not doing what he's supposed to do as well. But if you got to put your players in the best position, and I feel like they're not doing that. And like you say, it's always on the outside. You got to use them on the outside. Using up the middle is pointless. And then to your point with Khalil Herbert, we don't even see him all the time. And so then when we do see him, they knew we are going to run up the middle.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
It's tough because it's like, I know last week we talked about, well, they found more success running on the right side, kind of, those outside zones, trying to push the ball to the right side. I didn't really pay attention like I thought I would to that stat.
Yeah.
But, up the middle like that. I know it's the Colts without DeForest Buckner, but you really were struggling there for a reason.
Yes.
The interior line is struggling. What made you decide that this would be any different? I mean, I have no idea. Kind of, a little thing I want to say here with just pivoting back to Caleb. Lot of narratives coming out that he was inaccurate. There was that one tweet showing the overthrow to Odunze. And has he been perfect? Absolutely not. I don't think a single Bears fan will tell you he's been perfect. I don't think they'll even tell you that he's been great. But he has been improving. That part
as he should.
You cannot deny that. He's been improving. He has come away with 33 completions on 52 attempts, leaving a 63% completion rate. The narrative of him not being accurate when he's throwing that much, that effectively, it doesn't mean anything to me. And when you look at the expectations that not just Bears fans, but NFL fans have for Caleb Williams, it's become a mix of CJ Stroud with a bunch of busts the last few years and TikTok brain rot. And that is how they're coming up with their conclusion on Caleb Williams. That is why they're saying, oh, he's not the real guy. He's not the real deal. They should have taken Jaden Daniels. They should have taken somebody else. They should have avoided Rome. And maybe they could have avoided Rome and helped Caleb. But what, you get one more offensive lineman without Keenan Allen? I'd like to see who else is catching the ball because DJ Moore's been draped with the best defender more times than not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people need to pump the brakes a little bit on this team. Yeah. Was it the win that got away? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will remind people, though, that this schedule ahead is still a very winnable next, 4 or 5 games?
Very winnable. Like going into the bye and after the bye.
Yeah. So it's one of those where this is a get-right type of game. They're not going to fire Waldron yet.
No, that's too soon.
That Eberflus is going to give him a long leash because the moment Waldron goes, he's the first domino to fall. It's going to be Waldron. It's going to be Chris Morgan. Then it's going to be Eberflus.
Yes.
You can only play a scapegoat game so long. So long. Fix it.
Yes.
Fix it.
I'm with you on that.
You cannot come against the Rams and get blown out. Because aren't we at home or are we in LA? I don't recall.
We're home.
We're home?
We're going to be home.
You're back home at Soldier Field. You cannot get blown out by the Rams.
No.
I'd say you can't even lose to the Rams.
No, I think you have to win this game.
At this point of the year. This is a tone-setting type of game.
Yeah. They have to win this game. Oh my God, they're loud outside. What I was going to say is, speaking of Waldron, I don't know. After going back to watch the game, and I still feel like I feel about him, like the OC, he's not using people right. But he started using Komet right in this week, but it's not a lot of. I was watching the Commanders game, and Daniels hasn't been really good the first 2 weeks, but if you watch the Commanders game tonight, this is how you get your young quarterback going. This is how you get him comfortable. You get all type of movement at the line. I know their O-line is better or whatever, but you got to figure out ways. You got to do rollouts. You just can't just have Caleb just standing there looking crazy. You can't be doing drop backs. You got to understand if you understand that your blockers are not, your O-line not doing good, you got to figure out ways. I mean, they are so bad right now. It's really hard. You really can't scheme anything for this to help, but you got to do something. You got to do misdirections. You got to do something. And I'm saying all that to say I get all the way to the second quarter when they get down to the red zone. And you get there and you're up, what is it? First and goal at the 4?
Yeah.
First and goal at the 4? Okay. I got something for you guys. Got something for y'all.
Play of the drive. A direct snap to Herbert.
This is going to be every play. Every single play. It's going to skip. It's going to jump cut. This is the first down. Look at the drive, though. This is and this is after Caleb had that egregious pick, which he can do. But that's a rookie mistake. When you have progressions and you get all the way to the back to this one, you can't throw that ball. It's already too late. Every cornerback is going to pick that off. But he's going to learn that it's game 3. But you rebound, you're going down the field to score before the half. Isn't that what that was?
Yeah.
I think it was
just before half. You can take I believe it's to tie the game.
I believe it is.
Yeah. 10-3 at this point.
Yeah. You get down here, you're gonna get some points. And the first play, I don't even mind these plays.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I talk honestly, I don't even mind these.
A direct snap to Herbert.
Okay. Direct snap.
It's down close to the 1-yard line.
And I will say too, that's them coming out of Wildcat formation, which I don't think we've seen a whole lot from Shane Waldron.
No.
So
we
I
haven't.
don't mind him trying something new there.
Neither.
That's fine. My problem is the second and third down.
Yeah, like the first one got us some yards. You gave us a couple yards. I get it. Whatever. It's first down. You try anything. If we score on this first play, or it's okay. We got 2 more downs. But then you come back with this shit.
Second and goal. Herbert.
Listen, I know this is what I'm talking about. I know we don't have no fullback right now. But you don't have no big ass dude like Billings or somebody to put back there. And why we doing? I don't like the whole shotgun offset handoff. You're already 3 with an O line like this. Why are we gonna an O line like this who's not getting no push at the point of attack? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it's the next play. That really gets me to
yes.
And he is stopped short.
And just even look at the O-line on every play.
On third and come back and do it again if they have
Another. Oh my gosh.
Look where the O-line is.
Yeah.
Look where the O-line is. What is this? Then we get to the speed option. There is no time ever in NFL football that this is okay. But I did find out, Caleb said that the coaches and everybody they saw something, a formation that the Packers use against the Colts, and they used the speed option twice. Now, let me start here by saying, as a coach, when you're game planning, yes, you're going to look at film. But if your team can't do that, you don't use that. I don't give a fuck what you saw them on the other last week against another team. If we can't block at that point of attack, what makes you think they're all going to be able to run at the same time that pull off to block a speed option play? So that's another one.
Make sure you pause it at the right spot on the next play, because you will find all of the linemen flat on their ass.
Flat on their ass.
Not a very smooth handoff.
And this, for everybody who's listening, this is what's going on each time. Now we're going to the 4th down for the speed option.
And he does not get in.
Craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Continue to be aggressive. Well, you got man coverage out here. So
what are we doing?
Real quick, can we pause it right there?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My fault. Go ahead.
Taquan Lewis blowing that up in the backfield.
Go ahead.
Right when they line up, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Backfield.
It's very unique to me when they do this. So, right where was this Swift or Herbert?
Swift.
Look where they put him. They put him, like you just mentioned. You already have trouble blocking on point of attack, and You said you didn't like those, shotgun handoffs where you're already that many yards behind. Look where Swift, if this is a speed option and you're actually going to run it, look where Swift starts. He puts him about 2 yards behind Caleb, maybe even 3. Go look at that.
Look at that shit.
Well,
On
it gets
fourth
worse.
down?
Hold on, they move him. He's not even as far back as he goes. He's
Well, you got man coverage.
Right.
How many?
What is he doing?
He has to make a 10-yard attempt at that point when it is 4th and goal. I might have even been okay with just a classic read option, and maybe Caleb hangs onto it and takes it in.
What are we doing on fourth down? At this point, you thinking, oh, Caleb was throwing the ball.
I thought this was going to be just kind of a. I thought he was throwing it here. I'll be honest with you. I thought.
What are we doing?
You got man coverage out
I don't think
here,
the whole
so
clip came all the way in. There we go. Look at that. It didn't come all the way through. It didn't come all the way through, but I'm going to fast forward to right here. What are we doing? Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at the O-line. If you haven't seen it on the internet, the whole O-line's on the ground. But look at this. Look at the penetration. Look at this.
Without DeForest Buckner, without the star nose tackle, I mean,
look at that point. Look at that. That doesn't make any sense. Caleb is at the 5. DeAndre Swift is damn near at the 10. Here's the 9-yard line. On 4th and goal, that started at the 1.
do you think there was miscommunication with the O-line and Caleb? Did they audible into this? And then
No.
maybe the O-line wasn't ready?
No.
Or are they just that bad?
This was called in, and they're just that damn bad. Like, what are we doing? Why is it even a thing? You know?
Williams pitches.
Why is that a thing? So that's another thing that, like, that is the problem. That's that right there is a huge reason you lost the game. You just left points on the field. And
Yeah.
I'm bouncing, I'm thinking about different things, looking at my notes, and I keep going back like Eberflus. Like my main problem with him is situational football. That's the main thing. Like think about Cairo Santo when he missed the first field goal.
Yeah.
When he came out, it said career long is 54. Why are we trying? If you know that, you need to try to find yards, because a 56-yarder ain't it.
Yeah. It's not happening for him. And I like Cairo Santo. He's been very accurate. His
Mm-hmm.
biggest flaw is that he just doesn't have power. And that's
Mhm.
another discussion for perhaps the offseason. Are you going to move forward with a guy like Cairo Santos when it's, very much a kicker's league? The
Mm-hmm.
amount of points that you see Dallas getting, that you see
Yep.
the Niners getting,
Yep.
it's just there's so many teams that rely on their kicker.
Yes.
And even though it's only, 2-3 field goals, it pays off in the end.
It
helps you
does.
stay in games.
It does.
Would you have been mad if instead, okay, we ran it the first 3 times, we've gotten stuffed here at the goal line. Would you have been opposed to them taking 3 there? I don't think it would have been the end of the world. I really don't.
No.
I know it's the Colts defense, and I know it's hindsight's 2020. But at the same time, too, you identify that, man, our trenches are not good. You need to have good trenches when you are at the goal line like that.
Yes.
We have, as far as I'm concerned, we have 0 goal line presence. 0.
No. And look, I would have felt, like I said, I would have felt better if they had put somebody like Billings or somebody, just try anybody at fullback. If they get through his big ass, then they just got through him. And I tip my hat to you that you got through. That we can get through. But I can't be okay with a speed option at no point in an NFL game.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason why so many teams don't use it. And I don't care if you saw film on it being successful, one time recently. It's just
That doesn't matter. You got to know your personnel. Your personnel can't even block at the point of attack. You want them to all pull on a speed option. If you're going to try speed option, I think speed option should have been tried on down 1.
Yeah.
I would have gave you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just bad. Like, that was bad football. So that's 3. So that's 6 points you leave on the field right there. That's 6.
Yeah.
Then another situational football problem I have with Flus is this. There's no point ever in life that you should be calling a timeout after a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. No, that's inexcusable. That was actually, yeah. Which,
You
by
don't
the
know
way, I
you're
just
going for
checked the
2?
score, too. Those 6 points we left on the field, that would have determined the game as well.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
I mean, that
You take
it's
them
like
points.
the margin for error is so small in this league. And
Yes.
when you are already having such an uphill battle every week because of this offensive line, you need to just realize we got to take points where we can get them. We are not where we want to be yet. I know
No.
all the hype in the offseason, Caleb telling, Torrey Taylor, you're not going to have to punt much. Obviously, that came back, and blew up in his face a little bit. But the reality is, yes, you're going to have to punt. Yes, your special teams is going to have to matter.
You got a rookie quarterback.
It has to matter. It has to matter.
Yes, there's another thing. Like it always come back like, yes, I get it. His defense is playing lights out, and all the people that's trying to blame defense for open men running down the field or the D line missing tackles. I even saw like the linebackers was like combined for like 9 tackles between Edmonds, Edwards, and Sanborn. Shit happens, but with all that shit, stupid shit going on with the defense, they still only gave up 21 damn points.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put nothing on the defense. You got to when you got dinner to play perfect, you're gonna mess up because you got to be like, man, I can't fuck up. You're gonna fuck up. So I'm not gonna put no blame on the defense at all.
And we got to consider how often they're being asked to come out on the field. I mean, when you're having these 3 and outs due to poor play management, due to Caleb having his blunders, due to so many different things, not being able to run the ball, not getting those first downs, and constantly asking your defense to be on the field, these guys are gassed.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. So is the situation of football is just is driving me insane with him, honestly. And that's what's really doing. I feel like the Bears on the right track with the rebuild, but the final piece was Flus. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I'm not even saying he got to call plays, man. Mike Tomlin doesn't call plays, man. I said that shit last week. When last time you seen Mike Tomlin do that?
I don't know.
Never. So all you got to do, you have to manage. He does not manage the game at all. You don't put your guys, you have to know your personnel. Like going back to what the Packers said, you got to know your personnel. Why would you, like, with Cairo Santo, why would you not try to get more yards for him to kick a field goal? You know what I'm saying? Why not just go for at the end of the half, if you're not getting a push and you come back with a fucking speed option, bro, just take the points. You're down 10-6.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then right there, it was 7-0. Right there, it was 7-0 on that drive. I just saw it from the video. And it's like, okay, you have a 4-point game then going into the half, barring any, scoring with 2 minutes left. But still, it's something. And, you got to trust your defense that you're not going to be down 14-3 going into the half. It's just, there's so many blunders that happen with Eberflus. And, at this point, it's like, I, as a fan, I don't know about you, I'm getting sick of, we've only had 3 press conferences so far, but I am so sick of hearing Eberflus saying, we got to get better from top to bottom. Because that tells me that the top hasn't been getting better anyways. So your word means nothing to me right now.
They don't mean a goddamn thing. They don't mean a motherfucking thing.
I have no trust when it comes to Eberflus.
None. I have no trust. I will
respect him more when the day comes where he fires Shane Waldron.
I think if that happens, I think they're both gone. And I feel like that means the seasons went to hell.
They very well might by week 10 or 11.
I don't know if, like, with all that being said, and watching the game yesterday, and I watched the game today, Caleb has moved me. He has moved me to the point that I get it. I understand it. The fucking throw, he missed some. He's gonna miss them. It's week 3. He gonna fuck up. He gonna throw egregious picks like he did, this is week 3. And people who come out, it doesn't move me. It was garbage time sometimes. Listen, 363 is 363. And 52 attempts. I think last week he threw 40 something. 52 attempts. Listen, being a Bears fan, listen, I don't think there's not too many quarterbacks that I've seen. I'm going to go since Jay Cutler being with the Bears that's going to throw 52 times and only have 2 picks. And we don't get blown out. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen now. We can go to the last 3 quarterbacks. If they're throwing 52 times, we're not in the game. We're not in the game. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the game.
Here real quick. The last Bears quarterback to throw for over 350 yards was Brian Hoyer. Just for reference. I mean,
come on, man.
So when people are going to nitpick about what the Bears have going on at quarterback here, I think we're just fine. If you're worried about Caleb, if you're worried about Caleb, I'm going to let you sit in your own bubble of sadness.
Yes.
Whatever. I know. I've never felt this confident. I know when we get pass protection, when we can establish some form of competent
we're going to be just fine.
We will be just fine.
Yeah.
I have not felt confident in a Bears quarterback before. And maybe that's because the bar has been so low for all these years.
But we also, if you
confident.
But you're a fan of football and you know what you're looking at when you're watching quarterback play. And he got it. Listen, man, this is week 3. I see him he's moving the team down the field so good too. On 2-minute drills and shit like that, and just change. I see he's able to change plays. He's doing his thing, and he got throws, man. He has the arm. He has the arm, and you know what? One thing I do like about Caleb is that when he drops back, I can see and feel the confidence when he throws the ball.
Yeah,
he knows what the fuck he's doing.
I've also noticed he calls audibles. I don't know how many times I've seen Justin Fields call audibles.
I knew you was going to bring him up.
I know. It's because it's recency. Yeah. I look at Fields, I look at Trubisky, I look at all these quarterbacks the last 5-6 years. They haven't had guys that call audibles.
No, and yeah. It's like, it is what it is.
Doing it. Maybe they sprinkled them in every now and then, but it felt like they were going with whatever the hell they wanted to. Yeah. Now, I'm noticing Caleb identifying blitzers. I'm noticing Caleb calling an audible on the play, switching it up a little bit. That is what you can only ask for. I will say this. Another thing that we were and most Bears fans were kind of hammering for this last week. We saw some Cole Kmet this weekend.
Yes, we did.
I really loved.
Yes, we did. I need more.
10 catches for 97 yards.
And a touchdown, right?
And a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see him finally be utilized. Again, we'll see what that looks like when we're facing better pass rushers, because I'm still convinced Gerald Everett was put out there he might still be a better blocker. I don't really know
who's worse, him or Mercedes Lewis?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because Mercedes Lewis's dusty ass, get off my field, get out of my locker room, get out of Chicago. Mercedes Lewis, retire. Please.
Bro, he must hate his family.
So done with him. I don't know what dirt you have on our front office, but you need to get out, swallow some pride, and retire. Because it is far too much. I'm going to lose it, Jay. I'm going to lose it.
Go ahead. This is the point. This is your time.
If you watch the clip, I know we don't have it here, but if anyone wants to go back and watch, when Caleb Williams fumbled the ball in the 4th quarter, Leatu Latu made a wonderful play. He's a great rookie. I'm rooting for the kid. But when you have Mercedes Lewis designed to block him, and you can watch it in real time, he's like, wait, who am I blocking again? You're a veteran, or you're supposed to be at least. But then you have Cole Kmet having to pick up after your mess, and then what? For what? So Cole Kmet's not meant to block an edge rusher. Most tight ends who are vertical threats are not meant to do that. He is not George Kittle. He is not Travis Kelce. I don't know what in your mind thought, he's got me. He's got me. No.
Let me ask you this. Now I got to go back and watch this play. You might be the first person I heard mention this. So That he was supposed was that responsibility for Komet or Mercedes Lewis?
So I'm not sure if it was. I from when I looked back at it, I was pretty sure that they're doing one of two things. They're either both designed to double him, or Mercedes Lewis is supposed to pick him up, and then Cole Kmet's supposed to run a route. I'm not sure what the design was behind that play.
Right.
These are things I would love for reporters to ask Eberflus and Shane Waldron, and make use of those press conferences instead of trying to find clickbait. But
that's all they're doing.
It's the idea that if you go back and watch the clip, Mercedes Lewis is looking left and right. I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of that from our pass blockers.
Yeah, I'm going back to look at that for sure. And I'm definitely going back.
Cole Kmet, I mean, he's going to get burnt. Nobody talks about Cole Kmet and says, oh, yeah, he is a serviceable pass blocker.
Nobody.
That's not why we have him on the field. We have him on the field to do what else he was doing. The 10 receptions, the 97 yards, the touchdown. We have him on the field to be a pass catcher.
That's
why he's on this roster. So
yes.
I wasn't mad about Caleb fumbling the ball. I wasn't mad about his interception.
That's personnel.
That interception with Odunze was really tough because those are the 50-50 balls. I believe Rome.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Has a great chance of getting those, but the defender got his hand in there. The defender made a great play. The only fault he had was forcing the flat. That interception was his fault.
I will say this. After watching the game again, first of all, kudos to Caleb for even trying this fucking throw. But he still got it in. Rome had it here. I'm going to see the screenshot. He had it. So that's my thing. Like, yo, that's another thing. Like, yeah, it was difficult. Rome should have caught it. But Rome showed me Rome has improved too each week by week as well. But that's a hell of a throw by Caleb. And he's letting me know, like, he's learning the windows. That's another, you know what I'm saying? He's learning the windows. But like you said, man, I don't give a fuck about them picks, man. That man had to throw the ball 52 times.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of people talking about, oh man, I really hope the Bears don't shell shock Caleb Williams like they have with other rookie quarterbacks. I hope that, he's not able to lose his confidence. The biggest reassurance for me, and like you said, Caleb plays with conviction.
Yes.
He plays with confidence still.
Yes.
His confidence has not wavered.
No.
And that's what it's going to take to keep growing in this league.
Yes.
As much as I said week 2 was going to be the growing pain for this team, it might have been this last week.
Yeah.
It might have been. Because here's a game that you should be winning. Here's a game where things are just not going right for you in almost every facet except passing.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb was able to pass the ball. Like I said, do you know in the pocket, by the way? So I know we said 63% was what he threw for yesterday. 33 on 52 for those who are just tuning in. And when he was in the pocket, 57 dropbacks, I'd like to add too, by the way. 57 dropbacks on 52 pass attempts. You be the judge of that. He had a 67% accuracy when he had a clean pocket.
I'll take that.
I'll take that all day.
I'll take that all goddamn day long. Man, yeah, I just don't know. People need to get off Caleb. Get off Caleb. He got it. Just know he's ready. That's all I know. He is ready. But it's unfortunate that you lose these games. Like, you want to win these games because the end of the week, the end of the schedule, we've talked about this. We've been talking about this for the last month. Like, the end of that schedule is brutal. Yeah. So these are the type of games you want to win. We're lucky enough, we still are able to. We got an easy schedule before the bye and a couple games after the bye. We still got a favorable schedule to win. Yeah, we got to go to London, but that's still a winnable game against the Jaguars. Who knows what the fuck is up with them?
The last I saw the Jaguars, they were down at half 34-3. So
yeah, they're bad. They're bad. But I'm very comfortable with our quarterback. 3 games in, I know what we have. Like, you can see he was going through progressions by week 2.
Yeah.
This is another thing, like, when people try to compare him, and I've been seeing like all the corny stuff with him and Justin. Like, I'm happy for Justin. This was the best spot for Justin to get to. this is where they're putting him in the right position. They're using him right. Justin is playing the exact same way he played here.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything different. He's going to have a game like he had on Sunday, and he's going to have another game like he did on week 1. Like, they're just putting him in the right position. So I'm happy for him. But still at this point, Caleb coming out of college was still ahead. So you had to do that. And Caleb is showing you right now what a prospect like this looks like. Like, look what he's doing. By week 3, he got this already?
Yeah. I mean,
Come
like
on.
you said, it's the quarterback clock. The Bears would have been foolish to sign anybody that wasn't, a top 10 talent. You're foolish to sign him. You just are.
You're foolish. You're foolish, but foolish as hell.
And then when you look at, with this current play calling, I don't know that Justin Fields would be much different than what he was last year. And
no,
there was definitely flashes of him being great. I'd love to have seen what he looked like with weapons.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, I still think it's a very limited ceiling. I think Caleb's ceiling is going to be limited until they change the play callers. That's just
absolutely.
That's the reality of it too. It's like, and one quote that I loved, I forgot where I heard it these last 24 hours. Generational prospects come with generational expectations. And it has not left my mind since, because that's the truth. That's, when you've got a guy who was, first they said he looked like Andrew Luck, then they said he looked a little Mahomesy, and then it's like, okay, now the bar is being set to levels that I don't even think, the current elite quarterbacks in this game could reach.
No.
And, they're painting him like he's a god. He's human.
Yeah.
He was never going to meet these expectations because the expectations are inachievable. You look at what the media does and everything.
And it was corny.
I mean, exactly. And it does make him, just painted horribly to the audience that are, more casual fans.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have always felt like his realistic comp is that of Josh Allen. Less physical Josh Allen, less of, maybe like a hybrid between Kyler and Josh Allen in terms of he's got the arm. Maybe
he has a crazy he has a strong fucking arm, yo.
He does. And it's like, I know Dable really liked what Caleb said when they were doing combine interviews. He had mentioned that there was a play that he used to run with Favre all the time on the Jets, and Caleb was confident that he could make those throws. And that's the thing. The biggest takeaway is that Caleb's confidence has not wavered. When that happens, that's when I will truly push the panic button.
Yep. That is what started happening with Justin. His confidence will leave. He was thinking too much. So I mean, any bad O-line, like we said at the beginning of the show, this O-line is worse than last year. Hands down. Because we was able to run the ball last year.
Yeah.
We led the league in rushing, or not led the league, but at least top 5, I believe, the last couple of years in rushing. So now we can't even run the fucking ball. I think that is what it was. Like, I knew, the O-line was still an issue. Flus, I don't like him as head coach, but I was hanging my hat on to the point, if we can run the ball, play action gonna be open for Caleb and all these, but not being able to run the ball just fucks up everything for Caleb. Because you're able to not blitz. You don't even have to blitz us. That's another thing. And I think a lot of people aren't talking about Keenan Allen. We miss him a lot. He's gonna know how to drop into those spots and be open. So I'm not out on Caleb. Nothing like that's dumb. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see by so usually teams go into form by week 6. Week 7, we'll see how we get there. So we'll see. But enough about this week, man. What we got the Rams coming up. Before we get up out of here, man, how you feel about? Real quick, I have seen enough of Anthony Richardson. He is not good. Wrap it up.
Really?
Wrap it up.
I don't know.
That's why. Wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about him that is very unique to me. I don't want to quit on him just because of the fact that this was also his 5th game in the NFL.
It is.
I think it's still very early. I mean, I'm looking at those upside weeks that he gives. Maybe he'll never be a quarterback that takes you on a deep playoff run, and I can understand backing off of him then. But I
Yeah.
mean, maybe if you're a Jerry Reinsdorf owner and your idea is, oh, we'll just make the playoffs and that's a success, then I think
It's the inaccuracy for me. It's so bad. His inaccuracy is so bad. Like we've probably been part of two of the worst picks in the season so far. Will Levis week 1, and then the pick to
Tremaine Edmonds in the end zone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then even the pick that Jalen Johnson got. Pittman was wide open.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, and that's not the first time I've seen him do that. Like, I wasn't really that high on Anthony Richardson, so it's probably easier for me to be out on him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it if people want to stick, because the arm talent is there, the speed is there. So I get it if people want to, who not out. So I definitely get that. But for me, I'm done. I've seen enough.
Yeah,
I've seen enough.
I mean, it's so weird with him because, like, here he wasn't on the radar for top 5 and, getting drafted, I should say, last year. And then all of a sudden, he comes back at Florida, starts to dominate for, what was it, maybe half a season?
Yes.
And that just makes you wonder. You're like, man, can someone really just play a really good half season of college football and make the top 5, NFL draft? He showed us that they can. And, with him, it's like, it's so weird because I look at him and, people talked about inaccuracies a lot with Lamar Jackson early on in his career. He can't throw. He can only run. Well, he had never had a wide receiver 1 in his life. He had Mark Andrews, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Something with Zay Flowers, but even then, he's not really an alpha wide receiver. So Lamar Jackson, though, is still grown. And that's kind of my whole thing. What are your thoughts on when people say so-and-so is too inaccurate, I'm out on him completely? Do you think that, is it possible to become a more accurate passer in this league? Or is it just something that when you come in, you either have it or you don't?
No, I think you can get more. I think you can definitely get a little bit more accurate. But my thing with like Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, their shit is so off. Like, I don't know how you get that shit back. And it was like that in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that in college. So that's why I was even more so like, man, y'all put y'all, especially the Titans, y'all put y'all future on this dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, coaching matters as well too, but you got to have the tools. So, man, Richardson got, like I said, the speed, the big arm, and all that shit. But you can definitely fake accuracy. But I just don't think. I think his is so off. But yeah.
How do you feel about the Rams coming up? They just came out with a big win against the Niners. Massive comeback.
Listen, we can get out coached like a motherfucker with Sean McVay coming in here, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I don't know no more. I just want to see, honestly, this is what I'm doing each week from now on. I want to see Caleb improve. I want to see the run game improve. I just want to see improvements. I want to see wins for sure, but I want to see improvements. If Caleb is improving every week and we're competitive and we win sometimes, I'm okay now. I know I had a 10-win season, but with the O-line this bad, I just don't know how you get it better. I don't know what you're calling to make it get better. So I think this is what our O-line is going to be for the rest of the season. And I want to see Caleb get better. And I think we can win this game, but I'm not going to go in there with an expectation of that. I just want to see better play calling. I want to see Caleb improve. I would love to see Caleb without any picks this week. I think we can see that. Maybe we just get one, maybe. I want to see better personnel. Oh, man, we didn't even talk about DeAndre Carter. What the fuck are you got him out here chip blocking anybody for?
There's a reason I don't want to talk about the guy. I just want him to fade out of relevancy because I don't know.
Why do you have him trying to do that? Why do you have him in there? So that's another thing.
I just want to see Keenan Allen to be back because that means less of him.
Yes, and I get it. You get people hurt, but you should never put him in that situation. He should have never been put in that situation. But the Rams, I mean, they got hella injuries. They shouldn't have beat the Niners. But there's hella injuries, and we should win. I'm going with Caleb to give us another 300 yards.
Oh, okay. All right.
Caleb's going to have 2 touchdowns again.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. That's all I got. We're going to have another pick, though. We're going to have another. Stafford's going to give us the ball.
Okay.
Stafford's going to give us the ball.
One thing about Stafford, as much as, and I will say this about him, all the respect in the world. We've seen him in this division for years.
Mm-hmm.
He is very much one of those quarterbacks that, and I mean, CJ Stroud, he was gassing him up saying that if he could be like anybody, he'd want to be like Stafford. Matthew Stafford is one of those quarterbacks that he makes the most happen with the least.
Yes.
I feel like.
Yes.
And there's a caveat to that, though, because as much as he can throw you into a game, I think he can also throw you out of a game as well. Hoping the Bears defense is just playing with a chip on their sholdder. Again, they're back at home.
And he's not a running quarterback either. He's not a running quarterback.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about his movement too much. He don't. I think Cup is going to be out.
Puka's still going to be out too.
Puka's still going to be out. So that's 2 targets right there that we ain't got to worry about. So we're going to see, man. I think we're going to see. I think the defense is going to play good again. I think we can win. But like I said, I want to see improvement each week. I want to see Caleb going through progressions faster. If you get back there and it's too late, just throw it away or just take off and run. And I just want to see the offense make Caleb look comfortable. Just make him look comfortable. Find a way. Just keep going. Don't go away from it. If running is not working, don't go away from it too fast. You got to keep going. The defense is going to keep us in games. So
yeah, and as much as you mentioned wanting to see improvement from Caleb, from the O-line, the person I want to see improvement the most from is Matt Eberflus. Because I'm using his own words, it starts at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to show improvement, if Shane Waldron's not going to show improvement, this team will not show improvement. That is where it starts. You've seen so many good quarterbacks fail because they have a poor coaching system. And it's not even just the Bears organization. When you really break it down, it's not even just the Bears. Go look at Trevor Lawrence. The poor bastard needs to get out of Jacksonville.
Yes.
And then I look at the amount of great coaches that make something happen with mediocre quarterbacks. All
the time.
Mike Willis, he's been balling out since stepping into this.
Matt LaFleur is coaching his ass off over there.
Matt LaFleur is masterclass. You've also got Sam Darnold looking like an MVP candidate through 3 weeks. I mean, come on.
Coaching matters.
Kevin O'Connell, he's wonderful.
Scheming up, coaching matters, man. Putting your players in the right position, that shit matters.
Yes, it is vital to a team's success.
Yes, it matters a lot.
And I'll say this too with the Rams, before we give our final predictions for the score this upcoming week. After them, we play the Panthers. They played the Raiders tough as hell.
Yeah.
Last week. I don't know if you caught any of that game.
Yes, I did.
Dalton just made me realize, man, Bryce Young, and I was a Bryce Young advocate. I was being a little
trying to tell y'all.
I was like, man, he's still young.
No.
He's not experienced. Andy Dalton made this team look like a 500 win club.
He did
yesterday. So that tells me they're not going to be an easy game. All of these games moving forward, Jacksonville, they feel like an easy win, but it's in London. It's kind of like home field advantage for them. They're always playing in London these days.
Always.
And then you've got the Commanders, who are giving the Bengals a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Giants. That is what it is. But then, who did they play last week? Who did the Commanders play last week? I got to check this.
The Giants. They lost to the Giants.
I thought that was week 1.
Week 1 was the
the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers, yes.
That was a really good game. The score might not show it, but that was a really solid game for the most part.
It was.
So you've got that. Then you've got the Cardinals. Their offense looks ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the Patriots, who, I'm sorry, if we lose to them, I will.
Yeah, we should beat the shit out of them. But it is football, but hey, it is what it is. But
and looking at the schedule as of last week, I'm like, there's no reason why the Bears can't come away with 5 wins. Now
Mm-mm.
losing to the Colts, it's like, okay, I just got hit by realism. I got hit by the reality check, and like we said earlier, this is a unofficial must-win game for the Bears
Yeah.
if you want to set the tone for this stretch.
Yeah.
Because these are all trap games as far as I'm concerned. They just are. And then so the slew of trap games followed by the whole half season of division games. It could be a recipe for disaster very quickly.
We could definitely fuck around and have another top 10 pick. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will be okay with that because if we do, that means hopefully we get a new coach, the right coach. But the thing is, I don't want to keep going through this shit with our quarterbacks each time. If we have to go, if Caleb has to go through another coach, let it be to start off next season.
Yeah.
And we go from there. You know what I'm saying? But man, before we get out of here, my prediction score 24-21 Bears.
24-21 Bears. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go 21-17 Bears.
Okay. I almost said 17 at first too, but it's Stafford and McVay. I can say they can get 20 on it. But Cup and I can't really think his name.
Puka.
They're out. So I like your score. I like that score.
I'm still worried about Kyron Williams. He showed yesterday. He looks like he hasn't really missed a beat. And that defense has actually been pretty surprising. I know
they are.
Up, 24 to the Niners, and the Niners were a bit short-staffed too. But the Rams play hard, man. People had them penciled in to win the division. I thought that was a little overhyped, obviously.
Yeah, I thought so too. I still do think it's overhyped.
Yeah. But I mean, Sean McVay is going to keep them in so many games. And if I'm being not biased here, even though the Bears are at home, I do give the edge to the Rams. If I was Vegas, I'd probably put Rams -2.5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But all right, man. That was man. That was fun, man. We're gonna get us a Victory Mondays very soon, and it should be next week. Hopefully. Please, hopefully.
I hope to come back with high spirits.
Yes. Because this has been going on for fucking too long. Like, man, before we get out here, just going back to Jay Cutler. We've been looking for a goddamn OC since Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Since Jay Cutler, that's 05?
I need some changes, Jay. I need
some changes ASAP. Real quick. But man, that's Bears Weekly with Jay and David. Catch us everywhere. You're gonna stream your podcast, and appreciate all the support everywhere as well. Man, look out soon. Maybe I'm gonna talk to Dave. Maybe we're gonna have like a little watch party, watch the Bears. We do a little watch party. So
we can certainly do that sometime for sure.
Yes, we're gonna keep you guys in tune with that. But man, until next week, peace.